I come from a very humble background.
Very.
Extremely humble background.
So what was your relationship relationship like with your father? Because
So spiritual. Like you and your chaplain. It was spiritual. Me hata sijazaliwa hosi.
okay.
Mimi nizaliwa ushago kwa nyumba. Disturbing, I know. But that is the picture.
Wacha tuandike hiyo mahali.
That is the picture. Imagine being born without doctors, without nurses. Just you and your mom.
Wow.
My mom had given birth to 3 months. So we alikuwa ameanza kwa pro. So like, I'm gonna do this on my own. Kama Terminator.
Wewe ulikuwa tu mkiripotiwa tu hivi ni leta Biblia kijana.
Leta Biblia.
Kuna mahali uende
vizuri. I swear every mistake you have done is in the Bible there. Urasomewa every mistake. Yeah. Ati ulisikia ati kuna mzee fulani alikuja hapa kuwasema sijui mmefanya nini kwake sijui mkitoka shule mkapitia nini miwa zake mkavivamia kidogo Biblia. Unaona hapa Paulo alikuwa anaenda katika maeneo.
Unasoma na mtu anajilipia fee.
Yeah, anajilipia.
Anaenda mjengo
mtu hadi ako na bibi. Wanasema mjengo. Mtu ako na bibi yake ako form 2 yako form 3 bana. Madhouse, yeah? So mmoja wenye mchwa wanajenga kwa nyumba in a certain corner, they just start being busy there. Wakajenga a big mud thing there. So that thing was just right by my parents' bed. So there's a day that nilikuwa nalala hapo. Yeah, nimewekwa hapo. I'm still months old, literally. Nimewekwa, I'm sleeping. Then my mom came in the house and she took me. She was outside daytime. She took me outside. So outside, then when she was like, amelala tena, let me take him back bed. Kurudi. But that whole thing that was there just dropped exactly where I was sleeping.
Hello and welcome to Munene Digital. My name is Munene and this is Chasing Chapters. This is a much long-awaited day because I've always been talking about this day. We've always been looking forward to have this day and of course to start running this show because the last time I did a video and posted asking people about the same show because this is a show that I've always been interested into hosting. And this is one show that you'll never want to miss because it's a show whereby tutakuwa tuna have sessions na ma guests. The type of guests that I'll be bringing here are the type of people that I'm very sure they will motivate you. And my guest today is not just any other guest. My guest today will be well, I call him young, but he still wears a lot of caps. He is a professor, also they call him. He is a gym instructor. He is a physics anatomy lecturer. Those are things that we're going to learn. And then on top of that, he is also an artist or a musician. We're going to learn a lot from him. I hope that you're also going to learn a lot from him as well. Keep it tuned at Munene Digital, and this is Chasing Chapters. But then just before we kick it off, allow me to give my appreciation to Cozy Cafe and Bistro, which is Truaka along Limuru Road, ambao wametupatia this beautiful space whereby we are shooting this episode from, because this will be our first episode. Make sure you check them out on Instagram, TikTok. Make sure mwatembelea. They have very friendly prices of their food, their meals, their drinks. And of course, they also give and offer spaces for conferences, meetings, when you have graduation parties, when you have, when you want to hold your, maybe your meetings and conferences. Check them out. They are going to offer you the very best services that you'd wish to have. Now, without far much ado, give it up for my guest today. Hi, niaje?
Poa sana sasa.
Mimi niko fit.
Uko salama?
Mimi niko fresh sana.
Asante sana kwa kunivite.
Finally.
Yeah, the Lord has done it.
When I told you that you'll be my very first guest on this show,
yes,
I never thought you're going to take it seriously because ile mtindo inakuanga Kenya ni moja tu. When something is new, most people don't believe in it.
True.
This show is very new, and I have to thank you, Leslie, for accepting to be with us today.
Karibu sana.
Nashukuru sana.
It's my pleasure.
It's your pleasure. It's also my pleasure.
And I've just told you, this show is going to be big.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to take the crown as the first guest. No. I believe in it. And I came here and when you set up like I'm like, this is very serious. Okay. And this is the kind of seriousness that is needed. Okay. You know, when I see my fellow young people doing this kind of serious things, it really inspires me as well. Like, wow, this is good, because other times you chill with the young people, you just get demotivated. They were like, bro, like what's up, bro? See you uzime moshi kidogo.
Sometimes I even challenge myself, and I'm like, am I overthink sana? Am I even over targeting? Anyway, that's a story for another day.
That's very good.
Today my voice kidogo is a bit husky, but we are going to do it that way.
No problem.
I'm going to give you this chance to introduce yourself to our audience. Wajue at least wewe nani. Nimekupatia a lot of a very huge introduction, but they would like to get it from you first.
Okay. So thank you for the introduction. My full name is Oyola Leslie Daniel. I'm the CEO of Zoe's Institute and Goldshell Media Institute. I also teach anatomy and physiology, and I also teach weight training. So that is what I do. And I love music. I'm passionate about music. And my free time, I'm in the studio, I record some few things. On my free times, I push them to you and you listen to them and you give me your feedback. But music is my passion and I can't run away from it. As much as I also love teaching. Now I've been teaching for around 7 years. I've been teaching anatomy and physiology for 7 years. And through Zoe's School, we have been able to produce thousands of fitness professionals, both working in the country, outside the country, you know, from all over the world. They have been able to come and make something out of themselves. And that is what gets me up in the morning. And today I'm happy to be here to share my story with you guys, to pick a story, and we just have fun.
All right, guys, there you have it. Even ndio kuko, and that is the guest that we have today. Huyo ndio tutakuwa tuko naye hapa siku ya leo. I'm very sure that his face is not very new to your screens, and I know most of you usually kuna vile huwa mnamjua. You guys know him from a different world, but today I want us to know him from another different world now, from my perspective, whereby we are going to go through your chapters. Vile ulianza up to where you are today. I'm very sure, Leslie, jana nilikuwa napitia some of your photos, and in 2019 ulikuwa, you were just like me bwana, wewe hukuwa na nyama kama mimi, wewe wacha wewe.
It's the journey,
It's the journey.
It's not the destination. It's the journey.
So Leslie, wakati umejintroduce, I've had a certain Luo name out of it.
Yes.
It's Oyo? Oyola.
Yes, that's my dad's name.
Oyola, that's your dad's name. When I hear Oyola, that name strikes to be from Siaya, Kisumu, Nyanza. Where specifically was Leslie Daniel Oyola born?
I was born in Kisumu, Kisumu Northwest. That is just around Masena. Masena is our shopping center. Actually, me, I'm like, ushago kabisa, like sisi ni watu wa basi, tulikuja huko na basi. So I was born in Kisumu Northwest. That is where I also schooled my primary school before I went out to Kisumu town, Kisumu Central, you can say, for my high school education, and then to Nairobi. But pale Kisumu ndo nimezaliwa and everything, you know. Me hata sijazaliwa osi.
Okay.
Mimi nizaliwa ushago kwa nyumba. Disturbing, I know. But that is the picture.
Wacha tuandike hiyo mahali.
That is the picture. Imagine being born without doctors, without nurses, just you and your mom.
Wow.
My mom had given birth to 3 months. So alikuwa ameanza kwa pro. So like, I'm gonna do this on my own. Kama Terminator. And when I was born, man, I was going to book a clinic. Okay. Actually, I didn't have a birth certificate until I was going to do my KCP.
What?
So bwana, utatoa wapi kuzaliwa osi?
Okay, so wewe umezaliwa from ile ya kusaidiwa, ile mama amesaidiwa tu na wale wanawake wa kijiji.
No,
yeye peke yake.
Solo. It's a solo mission. And mind you, before going back to me, my mom was very sick.
Okay.
You know, very sick. And in the Luo tradition, there's a saying that says "Nyolo jaratek." It means giving birth to someone who's lavish, who likes life and big and stuff, it's difficult.
Okay.
So if your mom is kind of sickling when she had you, it's kind of believed that you are this flamboyant person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's believed. It's a thing.
Wow.
It's a thing.
So tunaongelelea mwaka gani hapa? Which year was that?
Miaka kitambo.
Ni kitambo.
Ni kitambo tu.
So you're young. You're not young.
No, I'm not that young. I'm not that old.
Okay.
And that is something that I really love about myself.
Okay.
You know, that I'm just somewhere. You know, I don't feel like I'm left behind, and I also don't feel like I'm there yet, but I'm like, I'm in a good place.
Okay.
If I keep my pace, or I make it even better, then it will be better for the long run.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
So Leslie, the village. Umezaliwa. What's the name of that village?
Kambumwe.
Kambumwe.
Yeah.
So that time I want to believe that hiyo time ukizaliwa na pia you've said that kafamilia pia umezaliwa ile wakati your mom yeye alikuwa amesema sasa hapa ni mimi na mimi pekee.
Mimi na mimi.
I want to believe that time pia si ati hiyo time mlikuwa matajiri sana wakati ule or so I think,
yes.
Or so I assume.
Yes.
I'd want you to paint for us a picture of you growing up.
Okay.
Wakati ukuwa tu mdogo tu na
Okay.
unakomaa pale.
Yeah.
Na pia utuambie wewe ni wangapi kwenu? Unajua hiyo na Kizungu. Kuuliza hiyo swali na Kizungu sometimes ni tricky. Wewe ni wangapi kwenu?
Wangapi? Haina translation. So about growing up, I come from a very humble background.
Very.
Extremely humble background. That at the time I was being born, my dad was a salesman for an Indian-owned company in Kisumu. So they were selling electronics and stationery. How do I introduce with kama phones into the industry? So alikuwa anatumwa anaenda go teach people how to use a phone. You know, go teach people how to use computers in their systems, like universities such as Maseno University and things like that. That's what he was doing. Being paid pesa too that was able to cater for our school fees, you know. My mom was an ECD teacher. That is what she has always done. You know, so at the time, it was kukua sawa sana. You know, can I say that we missed some meals? Yes, we did. You know, but something that my parents never missed was taking us to school and giving us medical attention, and we did it, and also trying their best to provide for us. So we were at that time, you know, when you're looking at it right now, you say it will be bad, but at the time we were okay, considering the situation at that time, and also considering you guys in the village and everything. You know, at least my dad had a job. You know, there are people in the village who their parents were not working, you know, ama wanaenda tu kibarua kidogo hapa pale, you know, kulimia watu na vitu kama hizo. At least my parents had a job, both of them, you know. So at least it was okay. But of course it was not something up there, but it was okay. It was a very humble background. Of course, both my parents were Jehovah's Witnesses, so church ilikuwa hakuna story ya kukosa church. My dad's situation, either uhame ama tuende kanisa. You know, there was hakukuwa na any story about that. Even my grandfather was very spiritual. He actually owned a church in our village. We had a church that my grandfather built. Yeah, the Israel Church of Kenya.
Okay.
It was even though my dad was not part of the Israel Church of Kenya, by the time I was being born, because he turned into JW when he was 16. So when I was being born, now it was just JW. But the Israel Church of Kenya was there.
Okay.
And so I went to the local primary school. Of course, nursery school I was taught by my mom. I think your mom is your teacher.
Okay.
I think sometimes I go and chapa too so that the other people can see that she's not favoring me. Yeah. But anyway, it was nice.
Yeah, because she was an ECD teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she taught me through ECD, and then I went to primary school. Right there, in school I was always a leader. I think I can't remember at any point where I was not a prefect in my schooling situation. Yeah, I was always a leader in school. I remember my performance was always good in primary school. Primary school I was always, if not number 4. My parents were always like, mbona usifike top 3? I was like, bana kuna watu hapo top 3 bana. Ananipa pressure. Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was always there. Number 4, number 6, number 4, number 6, always there. You know, then of course when I finished my primary school, I was the head prefect even then. Now, when I was going to high school, my dad was like, hakuna boarding school unaenda.
Shikilia hapo Leslie.
Yes.
Shikilia hapo kwa masomo. Mimi nataka nikurudishe pale nyuma.
Yeah.
Ile village ya Kabumwa. Unaita
Kambumwe.
Kambumwe.
Yes.
So pale Kambumwe,
Yes.
Umesema when you were born, your mom had already alikuwa na watatu tayari walikuwa wametangulia.
Yes.
So basically nikipiga hesabu alikuwa number 4.
Yeah.
So being number 4, how was it growing up? Umepatana na watu wengine wamesha kuacha kidogo. How was it?
It was interesting. Plus, you know, I have 2 elder brothers and then a sister between me and them.
Okay.
So, of course, it was always a fight between me and my sister. Okay. But my brothers, walikuwa wameniacha kidogo. So, I think we did not like do a lot of things together as you'd wish, because by the time I'm in primary, they're in high school, you know, coming home late, I'm a boarding school. By the time I'm in high school, washatoka home, you know, so it was not much, but for the time that we were there together, it was interesting. Mm-hmm. You know, it was interesting. But majorly, my childhood was filled with fights between me and my sister. Oh, okay. You know, good fights. Okay. Yeah, good fights. To kind of fight everything. I think we never agreed on anything. I think we never agreed on anything. Okay. Yeah, but man, I love my sister. Yeah.
So zile memories uko nazo mzuri sana za that time ilikuwaga, you know, those small fights za when
small fights that me and my sister. Yeah. You know. My leadership part, okay. You know, I think I just loved leadership.
So by that time, what does that time of your childhood, what does that chapter really mean to you as of now? Because sasa ushakuwa mtu mkubwa sasa, and that time umezaliwa from a very humble background. Yeah. Umepata hiyo mama hapo hivyo tayari kuna watu watatu wamekutangulia, and as a matter of fact, kwanza umekuwa mkubwa ndo unaambiwa wewe unajua hata ukupelekwa hospitali. Wewe tulikuchukua somewhere.
Oh, my sister never kept quiet about that. Every single time. Unaona watu wamezaliwa nyumbani. Every single time. How do you think she was there and she was a baby herself? I'm like, yo, man. Okay. But you know, most times we ask each other this question. Mm-hmm. If you had to change something about your childhood or about your upbringing, what would you change? My answer is always the same. Nothing. I don't want to change nothing. Staki kuzaliwa in a better financially company, family. Staki kuwa na different type of siblings. Staki ku grow in a different village. Staki ku grow in a different country. I just want it the same. I want to go to my local primary school. Everything. Okay. Because these are the things that make you. Okay. You know, unaweza zaliwa maybe in a well-off family, and then you'll miss the feeling of luck. Mwenye kuna mtu ajuku luck, there's someone doesn't know how to luck, and that's the reason why there are people when they meet someone, a needy person, let's say they meet a beggar in the streets, they don't relate. You know, when someone steps to them and tell them, yo, sina food, ama manze sina rent nimefungiwa nyumba, they don't relate because they have never been in those situations before. Anashangaa umekosa food aje. You know, like umekosa food aje. Okay. You know, so it's kind of a good upbringing, the fact that you get to feel both. And I always tell people this, I've lacked and I've seen it. You know, I've lacked and I've seen it. So that is what makes me me. You know, that is what makes me get passionate about philanthropy and helping people. Yeah. And when someone steps to me, even at the school, and tells me, yo, sina fee, but I really want to learn. You know, I'm like, okay, so how can we go about this? You know, I want to help you achieve this. Because at that time, I'm seeing myself as the bridge between yourself and your destiny. You know, and I know that there's a reason why we have met. You know, kuna reason mbona Mungu amekuleta hapa kwangu akaniambia tufanye hivi. That is the same way I looked at it when you told me, look, I have this new show and I'd like you to come. See, like the first episode and everything. There's a reason why you have approached me. You understand? There is so many people who can be interviewed. Sure. But there's a reason why you have approached me. You know, then I look at that reason as more spiritual than physical. You know, so I don't just take it lightly as mtu amekuja na anasema hana food. Mbona ananiambia mimi, you know. And since I can relate with the feeling of not having, the feeling of not being there yet, I take it as an opportunity, as a privilege even, to be able sometimes to to bridge that gap between someone and their destiny.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Wow, that's so touching. Very humble background. What does that mean, Leslie? Is it like are we looking at a heart? You know, ulifanya the river and the source. Did you?
Yeah.
One night in the smoky heart of a cage, a baby girl was born. It was a baby boy.
A baby boy.
So it was a heart, like
there was a heart, but just right before me.
oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a heart actually. I'm the one who came with the iron sheet.
Mtoto alikuja na sahani yake huyu.
Actually, but like when I was being born, they had just moved.
Okay.
They had just moved, but it was a madhouse.
All right.
So there's this interesting story, but I've never told this story. I've not told this story. Okay, it's not even my story. I was told. But nilikuwa muhusika. Okay. I was in the story, but the story is not mine.
All right.
This is what happened. So in that house that we had, it was a madhouse. Yeah. So mmoja wenye mchwa wanajenga kwa nyumba in a certain corner, they just start being busy there. Wakajenga a big mud thing there. So that thing was just right by my parents' bed. So there's a day that nilikuwa nalala hapo. Yeah, nimewekwa hapo. I'm still months old, literally. Nimewekwa, I'm sleeping. Then my mom came in the house and she took me. She was outside daytime. She took me outside. So outside, then when she was like, amelala tena, let me take him back bed. Kurudi. But that whole thing that was there just dropped exactly where I was sleeping.
What?
And it was huge. Exactly where I was sleeping.
Na mchwa ikukuma.
No, I was not there. Si alikuwa amenitoa.
Okay,
so amenitoa and kunirudisha. Anapata tu in that moment that alikuwa amenitoa. That is when everything dropped. My mom swears that thing is divine. And you can't tell her nothing about it. You know, she says that it's divine. That is one interesting story that she told me. Like imagine like the coincidence. Amenitoa tu.
Toa tu alafu by the time anakurudisha sasa.
But that thing has dropped. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is how humble it was. Kulikuwa na mchwa kwa nyumba.
Are we looking at a floor maybe mlikuwa meka tumara maybe?
Mara mwapi bro. Mara mwapi. Mara mwapi inapomwa bana. Chukua
ile kuna kumeanza mpaka kupata mabonde huko ndani huko hivi matope.
Yes, that's exactly how it was.
So and that time you have even a sister. So how are you guys even sleeping in that one room?
Si watu wanalala chini. It's only your parents who have a bed.
Okay.
Nyi wengine jamvi itawapiga. I think my siblings walikapitia sana even because financially like someone supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
So unapata hao ndio walipata the lowest of the lowest. My parents gave back. You see, my dad was originally like a missionary in Uganda. So he was working in Uganda when he was single. Let's say our age now.
Yeah.
He was in Uganda preaching the word. So he comes back to Kenya and meets my mom. And also they start a life together in Kericho. They meet in Kisumu, but they moved to Kericho to start a life together. So at that time, my dad was preaching. Now ameacha to preach. This guy literally knows nothing else other than preaching. That is what he has been doing. He got the word when he was 16. Since then, he has been preaching. Sasa ndo hizo una familia. Already ashapata the first boy, the second boy alipatana very fast. So you know nothing else. Ilibidi dig trenches. He was digging trenches every single day. And for 5 bob. You know. So that time umejua kwa zile nyumba za mbao zile za Kericho. It's a one room and you have 2 boys and your wife. Your wife is still very young. And I think at that time my mom was around 19, 20. My dad is 30 because alikuwa preach all that time, you know. So at that time, unaona like hawalikapitia more. So by the time at least me I was coming, my mom had moved back to Shanks. My dad had moved to Kisumu town. So he was working there anafanya mambo ya sales and he comes home every weekend. Okay. You know, so at least kulikuwa na like something, you know, compared to what those other guys.
But mzai hakuaga like hakuwa continuously like throughout hakuwa.
No. Alikuwa Kisumu anarudi like that, yeah. But it's just a 30 minutes drive, yeah. So alikuwa anakuja every Friday anarudi Sunday. Okay. Friday anakuja mtakuwa na family Bible study. Saturday muingie church. Sunday muingie church.
So the whole of 1 week uko na your mom.
Yes.
Mko na your mom, then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday is your dad, lakini ni church session.
In church. Actually, it's interesting that growing up, it was very rare that you'd talk to my dad about any other thing that's not church related.
Wow.
I don't get the story yako personal, hata haifanye kwenye church. Hata haifanye kwenye church related, man.
Okay.
And my dad just sees you like this. Let her be Biblia. I'm like, yo. Oh my God. Like these days things have really changed, man. My dad.
So what was your relationship relationship like with your father? Because
it was spiritual. Like you and your chaplain, it was spiritual. You see the way you can't see your partner and just talk about other normal things.
Yeah.
That one.
So Kikuyu unajua tu akikuja Friday, wewe ni kanisa, wewe jua tu ni Biblia utakula huko.
Ni Biblia bana. Hakuna stories zingine. Hakuna I swear I don't remember I was talking about other things. About other things.
So hata ile wakati unaambiwa maybe mama amesema atawariport kwa mzae. I mean, wewe ulikuwa tu mkiripotiwa tu hivi ni leta Biblia kijana.
Leta Biblia.
Kuna mahali wewe
I swear every mistake you have done is in the Bible there. Urasomewa every mistake. Yeah. Ati unisikia ati kuna mzee fulani alikuja hapa kuwasema sijui mmefanya nini kwake sijui mkitoka shule mkapitia nini miwa zake mkavivamia kidogo Biblia. Unaona hapa Paulo alikuwa anaenda katika maeneo, vijana wakaanza kucheka upara wake. Mungu akafanya nini? Simba walitoka wakawakula wale watoto. It's a verse. Everything.
Oh my God.
Ati ulitumwa kwenda. Unaona hapa Yohana alikuwa ametumwa na Mungu. Akaamua kwamba hataki kuenda pale, alitumwa na Mungu. Mungu akafanya nini? Alimezwa na samaki. Hii ndio kitu kinafanyika usiposikia wazazi. Bro, it was serious, brother. It was serious. You know, we were taught to literally be preachers.
Okay.
You know, because even at church there was like a school.
Yeah.
It's called the theocratical school where you're being taught how to preach, how to interpret scriptures and things like that. So that was like a whole story, you know.
Okay.
And thanks to that, our public speaking was always good. You know, my sister did public speaking to nationals. I did public speaking to nationals. You know, my brother did drama to nationals. Like, it was just a thing.
Okay.
Even my mom did music to nationals.
Right.
So, that upbringing, it taught us a lot of things.
Right.
Like, even if I was born, that's what I was saying, if I was born today and be asked, would you like to change anything? I was like, nope.
Wacha ni
ubiri. Tuende theocratical school. Acha dada lele Biblia yake. Kasonge. Let's just do the same exact thing.
So 7 days a week uko na your mom now. What is your relationship like with your mom at that time now? Because
my mom is the easiest person you'll ever meet. Have you ever heard of an easy person?
Okay.
Like, you can talk to my mom about anything. Anything and everything, she'll listen to you. My mom is the exact opposite of my dad. My dad is outspoken, loud, you know, lively. My mom is chill, relaxed, calm. You know, yani yako tu calm. Hata ukikuja na story na kusikia tu. Okay, na unaona aje? Okay. You know, my dad, you go with my dad, story ni yako ashaichukua. Ashaichukua hata utamaliza kusema hiyo story yako. But my mom, she's like, she'll listen to you.
Okay.
And then she'll want your perspective on the thing. And this from kitambo, not even like as an adult, but when you're a kid,
Okay.
she asks you, na unaona aje? You know, what do you think about this? What would you like to do about this? There is someone at school who's bullying me. What would you like to do about this? Have you told your teachers? You know, like she walks you through it in a very calm way. Then I always tell people, like, my mom, like, if we're going to meet mama, let's say my mom is coming here.
Yeah.
I go, bro, you're going to be the most chill person ever.
Yani ana maneno ametulia tu.
Ana story. Hadi sometimes you're gonna catch bona na story. Yeah. You'd even want to make her mad. hata kasirika.
Unasikia hata akiongea tu.
Imagine hata kasirika like anakuangalia tu.
Okay.
She's very calm, and that's the reason why she's one of the best ECP teachers.
Okay.
You know, like she's so calm and kids love her. Hadi nilikuwa nasikia wivu. Like kids love her so much.
And of course she's a teacher. Pia masomo pia pale nyumbani haikuwa rahisi.
No, it was
like
lazima angekuweka pressure kusoma, you know, but also in a very calm way. Okay. You see, my dad is either you do it ama the high road, bro. Like naleta viboko kama unasoma. You know, my mom walks you through it. You know, this is the reason why I full song.
All right.
And I've learned a lot of things from both of them that kind of makes me be a kind of in the middle kind of person. You know, I can be tough and hard, but also I can be so open to lead you through something. You know, and it has helped me get my way with young people mostly.
Yeah.
Most young people don't like being bulldozed into things. Anataka kuelewa mbona unasema nifanye. You understand? Yeah, because the current young people, I bring the reason.
Songesha hii kitu anakuuliza kwa nini siko sawa hapo. Kwa
nini? You see the time of my dad, parent akiongea ni hivyo. Hata parent akikwambia kata mkono, you are supposed to do it. Like, don't ask questions. But now with the current young people, it's always why. Okay. You know, why?
The why matters a lot.
Yeah, but let me tell you, see these current young people, you can't bulldoze them into going to do a course that they don't like. But kitambo, so many people did courses that they didn't love. Wanasema hii ni course ya mzazi. Ni mzazi lo, sasa acha nifanye vitu zangu sasa. You know, nishafanyia mzazi teaching, acha nifanye mambo yangu sasa. Sasa hii, uambie mtoto ati enda kusoma. Utaenda hiyo shule, utamtafuta na utamuona. I've literally had students. There's one of my students walikuwa Garissa University. Alitoka Garissa peke yake hadi Nairobi aka-enroll. So his institute. The dad thinks that he's in Garissa. Wow. The guy's in Nairobi and he was already enrolled.
Kozoezi Institute.
Yeah, Kozoezi Institute. Kasema bana hiyo kozi ya Garissa ni mzae. Mimi nimekuja hapa kufanya kozi yangu. And he didn't lie to us. He told us everything. My dad is forcing me to do this and that. I don't want to do it. This is what I want to do. Yeah. And when my dad comes here, I want you guys to explain to him exactly what this is. And the dad is Somali. He cannot understand fitness. Bwana, what are you telling me? Hii ni mambo gani?
Mimi nataka mtoto wangu akuwe engineer.
What is this?
Mnanifunza mambo ya kamera. What is that?
When the dad came, tukakaa chini naye tukamwongelesha, it was like a 2-hour talk. And then the dad was like, acha tuone. You know, and imagine like the dad gradually softened into it. Ilifika mahali sasa akaanza kusupport fully. Hadi akanipiga simu anauliza, kijana anataka nini? Ako sawa? Is there anything that he needs? And I follow up from there on. So it was gradual. But right now, also when you're dealing with young people, try so much that they understand why.
Right.
The reason.
Tushikilia hapo kwa masomo now, and just because you've mentioned about masomo, Kambumwe sasa, kule Kambumwe sasa.
Yes.
Umesoma mpaka primary kule?
Kambumwe, yeah.
Kambumwe primary.
Yes.
Iko county umeita?
Kisumu Northwest.
Kisumu Northwest.
Yeah, iko Kisumu County, iko Kisumu Northwest constituency. Yeah.
Okay. So kule ndo umesoma mpaka primary school. How is it like criss-cross hiyo wakati viatu mlikuwa mnavalia ama alafu kumbuka kwamba wewe you are a son of an ECD teacher. So,
yeah. So for that reason I had to wear shoes.
Right.
But me wearing shoes, bana kuvaa kiatu pale ilikuwa shida hata usivae. You'll literally be bullied for wearing shoes.
Okay.
You'll literally be bullied for wearing shoes. There was a time my dad got me some very nice black shoes. They were not that sharp, but according to that time they looked sharp because the situation was bad. Kila mtu anakuja shule na mkufu bwana. Wale wenye at least 2 ndio wako na slippers at least. Na ile slippers wenyewe imeshonwa. Iko na kiraka everywhere.
Actually you're feeling even misplaced.
Yeah, misplaced kuja na kiatu pale. I would literally wear shoes from home. Ifike karibu kwa gate ya shule nizitoe niziweke kwa bag.
What?
Ndio ni blend in. Bro, hadi unafanya hivi mguu wako kwa vumbi ndio watu waone umetoka home. That was crazy. You'd literally leave your shoes in the house umeenda game.
Yeah.
Kwa class umeenda games.
Yeah.
Inakatwa na wembe. Inakatwa.
Ili mfanane.
Yeah, bro, unakujaje hapa na kiatu bana. I've never owned a pair of shoes since I was born. You know, my parents literally have one pair. Wewe unavaaje kiatu unakuja shule?
So ni wivu ama ni ile tu anataka tu we blend in bana, we tufanane?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Why are you standing out? Why are you standing out?
Show off.
It is not you show off by the. It's a very big show off. Kuja na viatu vya shule. So yeah, that was situation, but at least I had a pair of shoes.
Okay.
And, my dad, because my dad was in Kisumu and working for us, and so at least someday I'm gonna tuleta vitu kama hizo. You'd ask him for shoes, and promise you, improve performance, I'll bring you the shoes. Improve performance, nakuletea set. Hata kukuwa na set was a luxury, bro. Fanya math na vijiti.
na sodomepo.
Bro,
naanza kuhesabu sodomepo one by one.
Kuna vitu zingine hapo tulikuwa tunaleta core. It's ni mbegu fulani a certain plant. I don't even know its name in English. But hizo mbegu tulikuwa tunazichukuanga sana, zinakuwa dried. So hizo ndio tulikuwa na hesabu pale kwa shule. Umeweka 6 hapo, unachukua zingine 4 unaweka hapa. Nasema unazikuza, then sasa unazicount, unaona 4 plus 6 ni ngapi? It was very interesting.
And that is primary?
Yeah, that was primary.
Okay.
High school now since my dad could not allow me to go to I was called
ngoja kidogo na high school. Hiyo time uko na mfuko sasa. Do you have a bag in primary school? Do you have a bag?
I used to have a bag. Which was also a very big problem. Kama tu zile viatu. It was also a very big problem.
Okay.
It was
bag your time unabeba bag inakaaje sasa?
Kuna bag fulani ilikuwa imeandikwa Umbro or something like that. There was a certain bag kadogo tu, just had 2 zips. It was a certain bag. Ukikatafuta online unaweza kupata. Kwa stand out that time ulikuwa nayo uende kusema. And now the other people walikuwa na bag zenye zimeshonwa. Kuna bag zimeshonwa na fabric. Fabric tu imeshonwa alafu ikaekewa mkono, so
kama kagunia hivi. Kuna ile nyingine pile shona kagunia.
Kuna gunia pia na hii nyingine. So sometimes unapata like mkienda kupatiwa books, alafu kama hauna a proper bag pewi, kama kuna bag ya nini upewi. So I remember there's a time we would change that bag even 6 times ndio watu wapewe vitabu. So bag hiyo siku on demand. Unapewa, unaenda nayo, unachukua vitabu zako, unarudi unapewa mwingine tena anaenda nayo. Even ndio mpewe books. Juu anaona ukipewa books utanyeshewa.
Alright.
Because there's so many times to leave school and then you have to walk like an hour and you fike home.
Wow.
Imagine situation unatoka shule, you're walking 1 hour fika home. Ufika home unapata kafuli, hakuna mamako, hakuna lunch.
Umetoka jua iko katikati.
Unaanza kurudi
shule tena.
Si unarudi, si lazima urudi. Lazima urudi. Sasa unaenda unavamia mapera ya mtu. Unakula mapera proper. Ukipita kwa mtu unakunywa maji. Unaenda shule, unakimbia kwanza because of time. Ukifika pale umechelewa bro, piga magoti. Maviboko nazo.
Friday babako anakungoja na Biblia.
And if you think that was worse, acha tufike high school.
Yeah.
It was just getting worse.
So all this time au kwenda shule yenye mama alikuwa anafunza?
No, alikuwa but yeye alikuwa ECD.
Okay.
Sasa nilishamwacha. Niko primary sasa.
So what was your performance like? I mean,
my performance was good. My performance was always good. I was one of the students who I don't have to study to pass. Primary. Okay. I didn't have to study to pass. Nikijasikia class. I've always been those students who are very active in class. Mkono always sitting in front. Miss Diego backbencher. So mambo ya S-class. Mambo ya S-class. Hapa ita nipiga chenga. Kama inafuata damu ya backbench.
Lazima tukae backbencher.
Sijawahi kaa nyuma ya mtu kwa class. Okay. Always sitting in front. My hand is always up. Swali zikulizwa up, I'll answer. Like teachers would ask me questions specifically for me.
Wow.
Tuambie, because they knew that I was number one, I was very curious. I'm a very curious person in nature. Siwezi pata kitu sijui and I don't look it up. I have to know why and how exactly does this thing work. So even general questions, I'm the one who teachers would ask me. I'm the one teachers would ask me general questions. Most classwork too, I was always so hyper. So I was present in class. So hata sikuwa nasoma. Dada alikuwa ananiambia leta vitabu kwa meza na zichukua nijifanya naangalia hivi.
Au uko wewe?
Nikiangalia kila page niko like siki tunajua. I don't study. exam ikikuja ni hivyo tu tunapita.
Okay.
It was easy. It was primary press was very easy, you know. Yeah. So that is how my performance was in school. Yeah.
We're talking of 300 out of 400 out of
300 up.
300 up.
You know, huko kwetu ukipiga 300 unakaa mtu amepiga kama 48.
Kijaluo haiko affect masomo that time.
You know, since I was curious, I would listen to English songs. I would watch English movies. So nikajua kizungu very fast. My mom and my sister were shocked because my mom and my sister walikuwa wanatengenya na kizungu. They thought mtoto wa class 1 huyu hata shikanisha hii maneno. So let's say you're like a mom wants to leave and go somewhere. So anaambia your sister in English ndio wako help. I'll be like, yo,
I'm hearing.
Nimesikia kitu. Simu umesema mama nitakwenda.
Yeah.
You know. So nilianza kujua kizungu very early because of that. Not even from school. Actually, me, I didn't learn my language from school. You know, because I was in a school whereby you guys would get to even class 8 and most of you still can't speak English.
Yeah.
You know, literally half of the class can read. The other half hata kusoma tu bado ni issue. You know, hata kusoma tu bado ni issue. So that is actually what has inclined me right now because my mom already retired. So remember I told you my grandpa had a church.
Yeah.
So we agreed with my mom, look, let's start a school here. This school should be to enable this kind of kids or party kind of tuition so that they can be able to be at par with other people. Okay. So naona kama sahi August holiday, now my mom has students hapo. You know, so it's kind of giving back to the community. They come pale wanafunzwa tu free. You know, wanafunzwa tu kusoma. My mom still mira kwa watu wa class 4 haju kusoma. You know, yeah, so anawafunza kusoma, kuandika nini. She loves that kind of thing. And myself and her both, we have a very kind heart. We are kusaidia watu. So that is something that is inclined because I'm thinking kama hujui kusoma. You know, or you are not so good, maybe your English is not so good, and you're done with your schooling. How are you going to be competitive in this world?
Yeah.
Because me, I've seen other people like here in Nairobi, kids in nursery schools, they are speaking very good English, they are writing well, you know, like their confidence is just somewhere. If you go to like my primary school, students wakikuwa wanajificha, you know, they are very shy. They can't read well. They can't write well. They can't speak in front of people. Watakuja tu kusema hapa ati I have a poem. It's an issue. Hiyo ni high school situation ndio wakuja hapo waseme I have a poem about you whatever. In primary school it's very difficult. So that has really motivated me to do something about it. And I always go in Shago. And every time I go to Shago, I go to those schools around and I talk to them. I give them what I can. You know, whether it's sets, whether it's a ruler, whether it's what. And I would really wish that if I'm blessed even more in the future, I would be like, yo, let's do a library. You know, let's do a library here. Let's do something that is impactful to these kids' lives. Because I'm looking at them and I feel sad. You know, like just juzi tu early this year. One of the girls were tulimaliza na primary school who could not proceed to high school because of his marks and things. Tulimzika tu juzi because of alcohol. You know, alikunywa tu pombe tu, you know, akapata alcohol poisoning and he passed. Juzi literally, you understand? And this is something that is happening in the village in a large scale. Him is just one example. Are we just going to sit back and look at this thing unfold? And his kids should go through the same thing and his kids. Then when will this entire village ever grow? Yes, it grow. Sisi huko hatuna hata lami. You know, it's not like the other day tulienda kwa Gashago huko kumwinterview and there was tarmac all the way. That village had tarmac everywhere. Hata tulikuwa tunawana like, "Baini msitu na kuna tarmac." You know, we are not used to that. Hiyo ilikuwa culture shock. You know, so only if or when we enable these upcoming kids wapate something better than what we had is when we can change the entire community at a larger scale.
Right. Yes. Well, thank you so much. That is so touching. Your primary life seems a bit
it's interesting.
Iko na ka story fulani tu. Now, let's talk about your high school. High school hapo ndio watu wengi sana ukuwa molded, hapo ndo watu wengi hujua wanataka kukua nini in life. How was your life in
high school now?
Yeah.
Nakumbuka I told you how different my mom and dad are.
Yeah.
So imagine I've been living with my mom all along.
Yeah.
Now that is like kujuishi na mimi Kisumu.
Oh.
At the time my sister ako college but finishing. So naingia my sister akitoka na niacha na dad. Mimi ni last born. Mama has always cooked, you know, ironed my clothes and things like that. Sasa ni mimi na dad. You have to wash clothes, wash the house, cook every day, everything, like ufanye kila kitu. Because you can't sit down and the dad is doing house chores. You know, things like that. So I went to high school in Kisumu, but my high school in Rawi State was distance. It was like it was around 15 kilometers, I think, you know. So I used to commute. My dad gave me a bike. He used to have a bike. Akanipea bike yake.
Ile Black Mamba.
Black Mamba ilikuwa, but pia alikuwa na mountain bike.
Okay.
So akanipatia mountain bike. I tried the Black Mamba, but it was a bit. Na dada alikuwa mtu wa kuweka vitu kwa store. So akanipatia mountain bike, so I used to go with it. Sometimes unarudi umenyeshewa, umeloa. Since I was also the prefect, so I would leave school wa mwisho. Nifunge gate hadi, you know. Nikuje sometimes nimetoka shule like 6:30 ndio kutoka. By the time kwanza sometimes unataka kwenda home, kunanyesha, unapata there's a student alipancha your bike.
Oh no.
Because when the prefect alipancha your bike kwa na pancha, ni 6:30 usiku, kumenyesha, giza ndo hiyo, you know, maji everywhere. Bro, at some places you have to carry your bike. Your bike yangu jupia, you know, you push it for that 15 kilometers.
Na kuna lami sasa.
No. When you get home, you have to wash your uniform. Because kesho ni parade na bado lazima utaongea. You know, haujapika, hujosha nyumba, vyombo, you know. It was crazy. You know, it was a big shift for me. It was a big shift for me, being a boy child and growing up with my mom alone. You know, so moving with my dad, it was the first 2 years. We were always fighting. Hatukuelewana on anything. You know, hatukuelewana. It was always fight. Sometimes I would leave Kisumu and go to Shaga the middle of the night. I'd be like,
wow.
You know, me, I'm going to Shaga.
Just because hujazoea kukaa na mzai.
My dad would be like, hata huko pale unaenda pia ni kwangu.
Na nitakuja Friday na Biblia.
Nitakuja tu huko ni kwangu bado. Yeah, my mom would be like, mbona unateza mtoto? My dad would be like, ndiye anakomaa. Ndiye anakomaa sasa. Hapa sisi mbembeleza. Wewe umezoea kumbembeleza. But high school, I went through it. Kwanza it was a struggle kuanza. But when I go to like form 3, nilianza kuzoea hii maneno sasa. It was like clockwork, you know. It was like clockwork. Even Sundays I would go to church, nitoke by noon nirudi, nioshe uniform, nipike niachie dadi yake hapo na niende shule bado kufanya tuition. You know, na nirudi usiku na nipike dinner, na ni iron my clothes, nilale niamke saa 9 na nisome. By 5 nimetoka naelekea shule. Like it was like clockwork na nilizoea. But at first it was a struggle.
Okay.
Yeah, but my high school was very interesting. I remember I was a school spokesperson. I was in charge of drama clubs at some point. I was a class rep at some point. I was in charge of cleanliness and attire at some point. Yeah, it was just leadership. Okay. My teachers, they really made use of my leadership skills. Walikuwa wananiacha kama ni teacher on duty na umejua niko.
Unajua uko safe tu.
Unaniita unaniambia sasa. Mimi siwezi kaa hapa hadi 6.
Yeah.
Sasa we make sure everything is in order. Kwanza form 2 wasitoke kwa class.
Yeah.
Make sure them. So that time people will find that in school you don't even study. That's why I had to wake up early morning to study, because nikiwa shule kama tu ni mwalimu, you know, I have to walk rounds and everything, and the students. But I really changed the school as from where I found it. The school that I went to, just next to it, there's a slum. It's Obunga. Have you ever heard of Obunga slums?
No.
Obunga slums. Very famous slums. Eh? So Bunga is a big slum. So there's a lot of students who are coming from there. Na wakikuja shule unajua ni watu wenye weekends wanaendesha bodaboda, wanaenda kufanya mjengo nini. Wengi wanaishi peke yao. They live in their own houses, you know, and they pay their own fee. So pia walikuwa like ni watu kurutu sana. You can't tell them.
Unasoma na mtu anajilipia fee?
Yeah, anajilipia.
Anaenda mjengo
Mtu hadi ako na bibi. Wanasema mjengo. Bravo na bibi yake ako form 2 yako form 3 bana. Wacheza.
So wewe ndiye last born, lakini unapatana na mtu.
Na wewe anavuta bangi. Ukimpata huyu nyuma ya class anavuta bangi na kwambia brother check. Sumbuana na wale watoto na simu.
Jamaa kwa mjengo. Akwadi na bibi.
Kuna bibi. Shule anakuja time anataka. Tena anapita kwa fence. Gate ni yenyu. Nyinyi ndio students, yeye ni mwenye shule. Anapita kwa fence. nyuma ya class anaingia na fence na amekuja anavuta tu. Anavuta na maliza hapo anakanyagilia anaingia dar. Na sasa hizo amekuja na pata trouser tu ndio ni ya shule. Shati hata si ya shule. Yaani jamaa kwa sijana kaa aje. But let me tell you, I aligned that school.
Yeah.
I aligned because just when I got into the school, the deputy left. No moja deputy ndiye in charge of discipline. The deputy akaenda. So tukakuwa very long time bila deputy. So principal alikuwa ananitumia kama deputy. You understand? Make sure things are in order. Make sure nini. We used to sit down with the principal to align what are we supposed to do. Watu wanapita fence, what can we do about that? Story of drug abuse, what can we do about that? And things like that. I aligned that school in a year's time. There was no weed in school. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anapitia fence. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anakosa uniform.
Wow.
You understand? Hakuna kuongea Kijaluo. Wale watu walikuwa wanaongea tu Kijaluo kama market.
Leslie, wewe ulikuwa snitch wewe. Ulimanage aje kucontrol tu kama.
At that time, now that even though you have said it is true, at that time I was a snitch. I was actually worse than a snitch because I had powers to execute. You know, I would tell you enter home. I would tell you don't live out shit and do it mzazi.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Na mwili hiyo size unatoshana aje? Because I'm trying to imagine this body size and that body size.
No, that time bado nilikuwa mdogo. Nimetu nilikuwa na powers because everyone knows that I'm acting for the principal.
Right.
You know. So what would you do? Because hata ukinikunja tu hivi wewe ushatoka shule ni suspension.
Wewe umeshika principal junior.
Huwezi nigusa. So there's no one who even dared to try beating me up because they know, you know. They know like if you try the consequences will be there. And literally like nikupata hata una badge nakwambia tuenda home kesho kuja na badge.
Oh,
yeah, just go home right now and tomorrow come with a badge. My friend watu walainika hivi. Lakini watu walikuwa wananiogopa.
Yeah?
They would see me coming like wananyamaza. Nikipita hivi ndio wanaanza kuongea.
Yeah.
Na mimi unajua kwa na base hata mimi sina. You know. But that is also something that I've learned to the leadership sure. I do different right now. Right now in my leadership, I don't bulldoze my way with people.
Yeah.
I make people understand why. You know, like right now I would talk to someone who's abusing a certain drug to the point that they stop. You know, because like even I don't even have the power to tell you, but naacha kuvuta bangi ama ndakufanya sijui aje. I don't have like why.
Kwanza hata nakuuliza swali lingine hapo watu ushangaa.
Hawani kwambie bana nisipate neno ukikunywa pombe. Like it's not possible, right? Maybe you're my friend, yeah? Maybe you're my friend. But through my knowledge, I can outline to you how alcohol is going to affect your health and your life.
Right.
From a small scale to a bigger scale. And most people understand. Okay. You know, most people understand when I say, hii kitu umeniambia ni poa. But sasa, can you help me through it?
Yeah, sure.
You know, someone becomes vulnerable to ask you, can you help me through this? And I'm like, exactly. Now that's a very good question. So here's where we start. Right. You know, and then they just follow along. Yani virahisi. See, come the time, you know, at that time, let me tell you, like, your time you were a dictator the way I was. I have to be somewhere for everything to be in order. You understand? Yeah. But if you teach someone the benefits of doing something or why they should, even when you're not around, your words echo in their head. They're like, okay, so if I do this again, this will happen. If I do this again, this will happen. Because now they have the knowledge of why they should or should not do something.
So about your high school,
yeah.
Umebadilisha umeenda kwa your dad. I want to understand and think that pia conditions za kwenye unaishi pia zimebadilika.
Yeah.
Kule ushago kule kwa mom, ulikuwa unasoma na nini kule wakati kulikuwa na stima?
Stima gani?
Ni koroboi.
Ni koroboi maana.
So kule kwa mzae nayo
kuna stima.
Kule kuna stima.
Kwa mzae ujue bado ni one room.
Okay.
Zako bed mimi niko chini na madrasa yangu ya body. No. So the situation was better the fact that kulikuwa na stima. Yeah. But that is just it.
Okay.
But that stima utaenjoy saa ngapi? Uko shule kila siku coming back late, sleeping late, waking up early, weekend ni charge. You know, hakuna hata kitu kimena kusaidia nayo. You know.
So what does that chapter of your life, I mean, what does it talk to you when you think and remember of your education life?
Yes.
Umepambana from that humble beginning, that humble background, kabadilisha kwa maadhi tena rudi kwa mzee. How does that chapter of your education really, has it even made you who you are today?
Also my high school, I always tell Dad, thank you so much for the course. It was a course, you know. It was a course of being taught how to take care of business, how to do things on your own, how to depend on yourself, you know. Because home you're waiting for mom, it's always mom. Mom, leo tunakula, you know. Mom, kuna food, mom, you know, things like that. Where are my clean clothes? Where are my whatever? But when I went to stay with dad, nilifunzwa kuwa self-reliant. And that is something that I've used until today. Every single time I even invite a friend of mine to my house, I'm like, hey, now what the baby, but human is happy, human is happy. I'm like, no, it's just me, you know. I have to make sure that things are in order, always, you know. I have to make sure things are clean, things are well taken care of, my own hygiene, you know, like it taught me how to do things on my own. Usually, I've seen a lot of young people even getting married just because they cannot cook.
Oh.
Yeah, mtu anaona wewe bana mimi tu ya kupika sasa baada nitafute tu bibi.
Kuosha sufuria ya ugali.
Kuosha sufuria ya ugali. I know people who can't I know people who can't even make ugali bana. Like hata huwezi pika ugali. Yeah. You know, someone can't even make stew, you know, cause ajaipata it's as if the way I was in Ushago, ningetoka tu hapo nikienda kuishi peke yangu, ninge find it very difficult. You know, I know so many young people who can't do nothing. They can't clean. The time hapa tu Nairobi when we got na house, we lived with one guy who kwao there was a lot of gas na alikuwa anafanya everything. This guy could not even wash utensils, leave alone kupika. Akishika tu vyombo hivi amepasua. You know, like bana sasa wewe usifanye mti weka anga tu. Juu umeja tu paya hasara ya kutosha. You know. So I always say my dad, I'm very grateful for the course that he gave me. You know, and it has really helped me. That's why I say this again and again. I can't wish to change anything through how I was brought up and how I lived my life. Like all the things I've learned through my life, you know, all the virtues that my parents have instilled in me, I see them clearly every day in my life. And I'm like, no changes. Namna hiyo tu.
Safi sana, safi sana. So that is Leslie's story, and we are going to dive much more into it. We are recording from Cozy Cafe and Bistro, which is located at Ruaka. Bondo ametupatia this beautiful space where we are doing this amazing, we're having this amazing conversation. You've heard yourself. So that's why musema every other day that kila mtu kuwa na story yake. It's only you who can tell your story.
It's only you can tell your
It's
story.
only you can tell your story. Yeah. And now that you are done with your high school,
yeah.
I want to believe because first of all your dad was a churchman, ni mtu wa kanisa. Yeah. Your mom is an educationist, ni mtu wa mambo ya masomo na nini. The next chapter would have been joining campus.
Yeah.
I don't know, did that come to happen?